Ever feel like you're doing this teaching thing alone? You don't have to be. Shared teaching is all about sharing the workload through the power of collaboration and teamwork. Together, we'll walk through all the difficult parts of teaching and learn how to streamline our processes, fine-tune our time management, and develop a more manageable workload. If that sounds like a dream come true to you, then welcome to the Shared Teaching Podcast. Let's share in the teaching to make those dreams a reality. Now here's today's Shared Teaching. Hello and welcome back to the Shared Teaching Podcast. I'm your host, Susan, and you are listening to a Writing Tip Wednesday episode, where every week I try to bring you a quick actionable tip that you can use in your writing block if you are a first or second grade teacher. Okay, so today is the 11th episode. I can't believe I've been doing this for 11 weeks. All about how to use a heart map when teaching personal narrative. So last week's Wednesday episode was all about a circle map. So continuing that trend of planning, we're going to talk about a heart map today. So a heart map is exactly what it sounds like. It's a map shaped like a heart, which is really just a piece of paper with a big heart drawn on it. And then the students fill it with drawings or words that represent things that are important to them. These might include their favorite memories, people they love, places they've visited, or even hobbies they enjoy. The heart map becomes almost like a visual brainstorming tool that students can refer back to when they need inspiration for personal narratives. Now, I like to use notebooks, and I've talked about using writing folders. I used writing folders for many years, and I use these really thin composition notebooks that I get from my school, and they're probably, 30 pages, if that. They're just super thin, and so they fit really nice in the inside pocket of the notebooks, of the folders. And inside the notebooks, we fold in half our heart map and we glue it into our notebook. So it's just right in front. Kids can flip it open. They can look at it if they need help figuring out what to write about. So when we're introducing the heart map, we want to start by explaining to our students that a heart map helps writers think about what really matters most to them. You're going to show them an example of a completed heart map. And for this, I cheated a little bit, and I always just Google because there's a lot of beautiful ones out there, and I try to look for one that's similar to the one I have, which the one I created is a puzzle piece one, and I didn't put too many parts or pieces to the heart map because I didn't want my students spending hours and hours on this because we don't actually reference it all that often, truth to be told, because I follow a set curriculum, one that I've written myself, but that there's just a set thing that I'm teaching them every single day, and coming up with ideas for the brainstorm is not usually a part that we have a lot of issues with. But it's great for the beginning of the school year because before you kind of are getting that curriculum going, or you know exactly where you're headed and you have a really good concrete plan, it's great for that. Or those days where you're just like, I just don't know what to do with them today, or your plan's not working, they can pull out this heart map. But anyway, I digress. Let's go ahead and get back on topic here. So you're going to show them an example of a completed heart map. I like to Google one that has puzzle pieces to make up the map because then it shows them an image, right? And I'm not good at drawing and coloring. It would take me forever. So I like to just show them a quick one that's already done. And then you're just going to kind of lead a classroom discussion, asking things about what are some things that make you happy? And maybe you'll call on some kids to share, or you have them turn and talk to their neighbor if you don't want to call on individuals. And then you're going to ask them, who are the most important people in your life? What are your favorite memories? What places do you love to visit? And then as they're thinking of these things, you're going to ask them to think of specific moments or details instead of just a general idea. So for example, instead of saying family, they're going to write baking cookies with grandma or camping with my cousins. So they're going to be a little bit more specific than just a broad general word or statement. Now, when it comes to creating the heart map, it's super, super simple. You're literally going to distribute the template or the copies of the heart map that you have, and you can either print the heart outline, you can find an image somewhere, or you can have students just draw their own if they're good and skilled like that. And then they're going to fill in this heart, usually by drawing lines, or you're going to give them a heart template that already has the lines to it. And each little section they're going to fill with words or small drawings, ideally both. And then that's going to be like the names of the people, the special memories, the things that they love that you just discussed, right? You're going to try to get students to put details within their heart so that when they go back to look at it later, they know exactly why they drew that picture. Because I've had that happen too. In the beginning, maybe they struggle with writing, so when they pull out these heart maps later, they might not even know what it says. Okay, another option is to color code each section that they're coloring, and color code it by like maybe red for family members, blue if it's talking about a favorite place, green if it's a hobby or interest. This way, if they know they want to write about one of those specific things, and they're going to look for just that color on their heart map. Now, like I said, I use a heart map that has, I think it's 5 sections. It's very small in terms of how many things I put on this heart, so I don't really find the color coding necessary. But if you work with older students and you want to have like maybe 20 sections on your heart, then that might be ideal for you to color code it. When you're using this heart map for writing, it's just going to be an idea holder almost, okay? So you can use it during planning. So before they begin a personal narrative, they're looking at their heart maps or referencing them to choose a topic that really resonates with them. Maybe it's a good way to pull out an idea. When they're struggling to come up with their ideas, ask them to pull out their heart map. Look in your notebook, find your heart map. Can you write about a time you felt really happy? Is there a memory about a happy memory on your heart map? And then the student can write about that. You can even make a bulletin board out of these. They look really cool when they're all completed, especially if the kids colored the sections. And it could just be a nice way to have a sense of community within your classroom, and they can see things that they have in common or things that are important to their classmates. And it builds that empathy. Okay, you can add to the heart map. The heart map is not just a once and done activity. As students go throughout the year and as they're growing, they can add to their maps. So maybe there's a holiday break or a special classroom event. The student can update their map. Maybe you give them a second map, and then they just kind of keep, a few of them together, a collection. There you go. They can keep like a collection of these maps in their notebooks or folders, depending on what you like. All right, resources that you might find helpful with today's episode is I do have a 2nd grade opinion writing unit. I really, really hope to have the narrative writing one done by the end of this month. It is mostly done. I'm just adding the student pages to it. And then also the heart map I talked about, I will be giving it out free to my email subscribers. I'm hoping on Friday. So if you want to sign up for my email list, you can do that by finding my free K3 writing skills progression chart, which you can go to sharedteaching.com/writing-skills-progression, and you can find it that way. You can also go to sharedteaching.com, and at the top of the homepage, you'll see something that says free library. When you click on that, scroll down to the page, you can find a place to sign up for my free library there as well. And I will be adding it to the free library. I'm having so much trouble talking. And hopefully that will be by the end of this week. So thank you so much for listening, and tune in next week for an all-new Writing Tip Wednesday, but also a full-length episode is coming your way in just a couple of days. Bye for now. If you've loved this show, then join me in sharing the teaching,
hitting that subscribe button,
and leaving us a review on
iTunes,
so we can be found by more teachers like you who are ready to start sharing the workload. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Find new episodes each week on sharedteaching.com. Thanks for listening to the Shared Teaching Podcast.